Hello friends, thank you. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss one of the topic from LLB 6th semester from the subject environmental law. This topic will be a part of unit 3. Hope you find this discussion useful for your preparation of exam and understanding of the subject. Let's get started with the subject. Hello friends, today we are going to discuss on Earth Summit 2002 Johannesburg Declaration on Sustainable Development. The Johannesburg Declaration on Sustainable Development was adopted at the World Summit on Sustainable Development. It was organized by United Nations in Johannesburg in August 26 to September 6 of 2002. It is also called Earth Summit 2002. It was held 10 years after the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro, which focused world government on the environmental issues for the first time. The Earth Summit 2002 produced the Johannesburg Declaration on Sustainable Development, an international agreement on the environmental and sustainable development. The Johannesburg Declaration reiterates the most of the proposals from Rio Declaration on Environment and Development Agenda 21, International Agreement from the Earth Summit 1992. It had broader agenda than Rio Summit in 1992. The summit in Johannesburg also included the huge number of delegates representing the nations, business, interest and non-profit environmental and developmental citizen social justice group. It was the UN largest conference to that date when over 100 heads of states, 40,000 delegates participated and came forward to set up the goal to halt the poverty around the world whilst saving the environment at the same time. It covered everything from measures to cut the poverty, improve the sanitation, improve the ecosystems, reduce the pollution, and improve the energy supply for the poor people. Background history of the Earth Summit 2002. Focus on the sustainable development. Sustainable development means development that increased or intensified economic activity, sometimes used to synonym for the industrialization, that meets the cultural and physical needs of the present generation of the persons without damaging the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. In 1987, the UN's definition stated that sustainable development is a development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. This definition touches on the concept of most basic component. Specifically, we can't expand the Earth's limited potential today if we want human life to continue tomorrow. The main focus of the World Summit was sustainable development. The record on moving towards the sustainability so far appears to have been quite poor, and vast majority of humanity still lack the access to basics such as clean water, adequate sanitation, electricity, and so on. And this is the backdrop of the increasing amount of wealth in the fewer hands. In the summit, various key issues were addressed, including the poverty, water quality, availability of cleaner energy, health, good governance, technology, production and consumption, oceans and fisheries, tourism, other related issues such as globalization, women's rights are also were discussed. There were also other voices at the summit aside from the government officials, stakeholders including the business leaders, scientists, environmentalists, economists and a variety of non-organizational governmental organizations. Each stakeholder has a unique take on the sustainable development that falls into one or more following approaches. Three pillars approach to sustainability. Economic, encouraging the economic development and infrastructure also increases the capacity for the change. This approach assisted that the economically powerful developed world will invest in environmental protection, whereas developing countries must devote their energies elsewhere. Simply put, the poor can't afford to share the costly interests of their healthy environment. Surviving is enough task for the many. Proponents group of 77 G77 developing countries have often supported this approach, arguing that only when they catch up to the developed world will they be able to participate in initiatives such as environmental protection and pollution reduction. Business leaders are likely to support this approach, arguing that increased trade and commerce is a most efficient way to achieve a development and thereby capacity for the environmental responsibility. Environment, concrete perceptions, prescriptions, rules and enforcement must curb the environmental degradation. This approach asserts that traditional development methods have created the critical problems and survival of the humans and the planet. Proponents, the European Union has sponsored this approach, calling the definitive action such as targets laid out in the Kyoto Protocol. Environmentalists largely favor this approach since it is targets the environmental destruction first and foremost. Social justice. Sustainable development is about the protecting the environmental as well as economic and social justice. This approach asserts that economic capacity and ecological stability play into larger sphere of the interest. Human life requires a combination of these entities, but also social stability, security and equity. Proponents, the Norway, Canada and Japan have set their agenda based on some form of this combination. NGOs representing women or human rights groups favor this approach since it addresses the wider range of issues affecting the social development. The Johannesburg Declaration builds on the earlier declarations made at the United Nations Conference on the Human Environment at Stockholm in 1972 and Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro in 1992. While committing the nations of the world to the sustainable development, it also includes the substantial mention of multilateralism as the path forward. The international environment policies established by Earth Summit 2002 were direct results of ideas produced by the previous international conferences. Thank you friends, hope you find this interesting. We'll see you with the next session. Thank you, take care, bye bye. Hello friends, thank you. Hope you found important points as a preparation for your course. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe, share, like. So see you definitely with the next topic. Have a good time.